Welcome, everyone. Today is day 6 in the Art of Learning Self-Love. Today's affirmation of the day is, I have the power within to change my life. I have the power within to change my life. Make sure you write that out 3 times today sometime. Make sure you put it up somewhere where you can see it. And the affirmation of the day, the assignment, don't know why I repeated myself. The assignment of the day, take a moment to reflect over the last week, month, or whenever in your life that you did not honor yourself. This is going to be a little bit challenging because now we're going to actually begin looking at and uprooting and identifying where we are not taking responsibilities for ourselves, and how sometimes we're just going through life and it does not allow, we are not mindful, we're not thinking every moment of every day. So sometimes we don't honor ourselves by certain choices that we make because we're trying to, sometimes it's based off of a good intent because we're trying to be somewhere for someone else. But we really need to get to a place where we're beginning to make our yeses, our no's, and honoring ourselves. If we are in a place, in a position that we're not honoring ourselves, it really can create devastating and destructive circumstances around us because we're not heeding the warnings and the intuition around us. So, and I've personally been really guilty of this one in regards to expanding and learning in my own personal growth and development, where I've allowed myself to give more of me than I should have, where I wasn't in alignment with myself. So I really have a lot in regards to this one that I've had to work out in regards to the weeks, the months, and the years for me, because I was not taught early in regards to honor me. I was always made to make sure that I was taking care of everybody else's needs. So this was an area that I really had to work on in my personal life. So if you guys are dealing with anything where you find yourself constantly going, oh, I'm giving way too much of myself and not doing enough for myself, this is normal. This is what most of us have been trained to do over the course of our life. So do not beat yourself up over this. This is not for that at all. This is literally an empowering process right now, because once you can begin identifying these areas where we're not honoring ourselves, it will allow us to shift so that we can actually start speaking up and doing the things that we need to do for ourselves so we can live for our highest good and the highest good of those around us. So I want you to write that out. Take a moment to reflect over the last week, month, or whenever in our lives that you did not honor or value yourself. Next part says, once you identify those times, number 1, write out a heartfelt apology to yourself for not knowing what you know now. You don't know until you know, you know? That again is write out a heartfelt apology to yourself for not knowing what you know now. 2, write a thank you to yourself for recognizing these times. And 3, Let me go back over number 2. Number 2 was write a thank you to yourself for recognizing those times that you did not honor and value yourself. Number 3, then we're going to write a promise to ourselves to choose to do better each day. So now we're going to write a promise to ourselves to choose to do better each day. Your note for the day, you can do this over and over as things surface. As you do this, you will discover a new level of you time and time again. So going back over, today's class is about the power within to change our life. This is the power of decision, making a decision for ourselves. If I want to stop smoking cigarettes, which I've done in the past, I've now 3 years been no longer smoking. So I mean, it was a hard thing. I smoked for many years, and that was the hardest thing for me to quit. So I mean, that was one thing I can use right now as a great example. But there are many things that we want to shift, that we want to change, the power of changing ourselves. So that for me was one of the hardest things for me to quit. So I chose to express that. Now, there are other things in my life that I had to choose that were difficult. Talking in regards to relations. One of the hardest things to do is choose to relieve a relationship that is toxic. It is easier to keep going back because you want to see if you can make it work. But if it has toxicity in it and it's harming you, you have to remove yourself. And that sometimes is removing and changing and making decisions that are against what's going on the inside, because you're having a battle between your head and your heart. Now, if you're trying to make a decision to shift into a positive, so say we're setting a goal and we're making a decision and building that power within that, charging ourselves. Remember that the decision is going to be on a different level. So we're starting on a frequency that's down here, but we're trying to get to a goal that's up here. But we have to make the decision that we're already part of that. And all the details along the way for us to get there are going to meet us because we've already set ourselves up for that success. So we're already there. We're seeing it. We're living it. We're breathing it. We're knowing that this is what our life is. But when we're sitting down here and we're thinking that we wish we could get there, I hope I can get there, I'm going to do my best to get there, I'm trying to get there, we're not going to achieve it. The decision is the process. Making a solid decision within yourself, no matter whether or not it is a decision to remove yourself, to apply yourself, to bring yourself through it, whatever it is, making the decision is the very power that takes you to the next level. So whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, I want you to actually look at those things. So say you're trying to quit smoking. You have to make the decision, and then each day when the desires and the thoughts and the feelings come up that you want that other thing, that you made the decision that you don't want, you have to fight the mind. The battle that goes on within the mind is one of the hardest things to actually overcome. It is easier to leave something and walk away from others and tend to different circumstances than it is sometimes to battle the inner dialogue that's going on the inside, but bringing us to that place of stillness, of making the decision and knowing what we want. That's the key. Knowing what we want and making the decision that it is done. It is complete. So when we have to walk through, and the reason why I have you working through all of these different points of your life and reflecting back over the times of this week or month or your life where you didn't honor or value yourself, generally those are areas of your life that you chose not to stick with the decision because we didn't honor and we didn't value the decision that we made. And this is what was causing the blocks in our life to keep us from going where we want to go. So it is up to us to actually move that energy, remove those stories, and begin a process that allows us to align with our decision, move into it, live it as if it is, and allow the rest of the things to come in and align with us. Make sure if you have any questions, reach out, message me, talk to me during our sessions, our one-on-ones, and I will see you soon. Thank you for joining today's day 6, and blessings, love, and light. Bye for now.